The only problem with Santino and Andy is this podcast. Well, hello and welcome back. It is full swing in spooky season here at The Only Problem. It is full ween of the Halloween here. We are talking today about a classic, a peak of cinema, a uh, something that really shows the human experience and makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. This week, we are talking about Hell House LLC 2, the Abaddon Hotel. I'm Andy Matsky.
I'm
That
Santino Vitale. That's
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 that
who I
warm
am.
laugh. That's who that is. And we are back with another episode where we talk about a movie that just makes you sit on the edge of your seat and you just never get off because it's so full of tension and spooky and scary. But before we get in all that, how are you doing, Santino? For the folks at home, it feels longer in between episodes for us because it is longer than normal, not to, get into too much of the business of the show.
Mhm.
But for the folks at home, it's the same amount, and they're just wondering how's my Santino doing?
Well, Santino's sitting here. He's kind of like he's thinking, am I gonna ruin the show, or are we gonna get through the show? Because
We'll see.
FYI, to the people at home, one of us is a young man, and the other of us is 31 years old and has kidney stones like a 50-year-old. So. Any guesses which person I'm talking about? But
Leave your comments in the
uh-huh.
show notes. I mean, in the comments,
In
and
the no shows.
we will we'll tell you next week
Yeah, we'll tell you next
who
week.
was right. It's, this episode might just end.
It
It's
might
kind
just
of the
end.
way I see it
Hmm.
going.
Or you might just hear and then 5 seconds of silence and then sirens. You never know what you might hear at the end of the episode.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what you end up with. Um, so this week we are talking about a unique film, a special film, if you will. Santino's nodding in approval. We are talking about Hell House LLC 2, the Abaddon Hotel.
Which
Um,
is the worst name for a hotel, might I just before we even get into the review, if what you want is business, if you want people to actually patronize your establishment, maybe don't name it after like the Lake of Fire. I don't know. Like they made a choice. I'll say that.
there's a lot of choices. Um, how much did you know before going into this film? Okay, so wait, actually, I want to set the scene this way. If you listen to last week's episode all the way through,
Mhm.
you will know we were going to talk about the 2017 film The Ritual. Uh, and then, and that was the plan. And then I got a text a few days ago where Santino was like, "Hey, I don't feel like paying to watch your stupid movie. Do you have another idea?" And at first I was like, no, I don't, because it's nearly impossible to think of a movie that you haven't seen that's any good. And then I went, oh, wait, I know a movie. If he doesn't want to pay to watch my probably decent movie, I'll make him watch this. And then I made him, and
Yeah,
then
well,
I made,
so that the audience understands. I thought when you told me about the ritual that I could just watch it on Prime. I didn't realize it's a Netflix only, and I didn't have Netflix currently. I'm like, I don't feel like subscribing to Netflix for a month just to watch one movie. So,
hey, there's sacrifices that need to be made for this show,
this
and you weren't willing to do that.
is true.
So
This is true.
we watched, because I watched it
Yeah.
again,
Hmm.
this movie, which for short we could call HHLTAH, right? Hell
H
House LLC would be a
HHLLC AH.
yeah,
HHLLC. Yeah.
or
Or yeah.
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 So
That's what we'll call it from now on. So we both watch
yeah, we
Yeah.
both watched that this week. Uh, did you know anything about the Hell House franchise
I didn't
before
know there
going
were
in?
that many movies. I remember you telling me about the first one, and that was it. There's like what, like six movies?
There are five of them now. I did not know there were five. I
There
thought
we
there were
go.
only three. There is Hell House LLC. There is Hell House LLC 2 Hotel Abaddon,
Hmm.
which I always want, there, whatever,
Abaddon
Abaddon
Hotel.
Hotel,
Mhm.
which I always want to say the Hotel Abaddon, like the Hotel
Right,
California, but
Hotel
whatever.
California. That's
And
the
then
other
there's,
one.
and then there's Hell House LLC 3, The Lake of Fire, which
Kind of redundant.
not the most original name. And then there's, I wrote these all down. Then there's Hell House LLC Origins, The Carmichael Hotel, which came out in 2023. And then there's Hell House LLC Lineage, which is a normal movie. It's not a found footage movie.
Oh
It
wow.
breaks the found footage mold and actually looks decent. I mean, like well shot, like
Hmm.
surprisingly. And so does the, what the heck did I actually say? Lineage, the second latest one,
Hmm.
also looks, it's found footage still, but like it looks really good. Might have to check those out for my own personal enjoyment. Or
Hmm.
maybe for the podcast. A
Yeah, maybe.
combination, the Hell House franchise retrospective. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Hell House LLC franchise retrospective episode.
Hmm.
Probably not, but you will run out of ideas eventually. And so before then,
Yeah.
we'll probably get that. So you knew nothing
I knew
going in.
nothing.
This was the first Hell House movie I saw. And so I went in knowing nothing. So that's why
Oh, I thought you saw the first one first. You saw
mm-mm.
the second one first.
I saw the second one first, and then I saw the first one, and then I'm not sure if I saw the third one. All I know is either the first one or the third one has a really like pervy guy in it, and I'm gonna bleep this if I remember later because we're a family friendly show, but like the guy makes like a joke, and it's so out of nowhere that I was watching with my friends, and the guy's like is like in the movie, and it's like what? So, anyways. That's what you're missing out on in
Oh
the
boy.
I think it's the third one. He's just like a real pervy guy. It's
You always need a
real
pervy guy. In all these low budget movies, there's a pervy
yeah.
guy.
This movie doesn't really have a pervy guy.
The guy that looks like they put Neil Breen in a microwave and then a taffy pool. That guy with the suit who then turns out to be the villain or whatever, like that
Yeah,
guy is he's pretty all over the board. I'll just say that he's the guy.
that's fair. That's fair. So, initial impressions. You start watching this movie, the Terror Films logo shows up,
Well, when
which
the
you
Terror
know.
Films logo shows up, I just went, uh-oh. I actually said that out loud, and my dad went, wait, what do you mean, uh-oh? I was like, well, it's Terror Films. I had to like explain the backstory of why that's
Yeah.
it. And then like I don't know, it just kind of starts off, and I'm like, all right, this is something, and the budget is immediately apparent. Like I went
Hmm.
into this thing without watching a trailer. I didn't look at a poster. The only thing I knew, and it's just because it's like when you see it on Tubi, like they tell you the IMDb rating. So I knew like, oh, this is a five something on IMDb. So it's not like great. And then I saw a name that I recognize go by the actors list. The cameraman, the guy who plays the cameraman, his name is Dustin Austin. He's an Ohio local, and he's trans now. And
I found that
yeah,
out during my research.
yeah. His, so my film, The Beast, played ahead of his film, The Beast of Walton Street in 2023 at Nightmares Film Festival. So he and I have
Whoa.
spoken, like briefly.
Whoa, small world.
Yeah.
That's crazy. This film also includes the acting of Eli, Jillian Gertz, and Joy Shatz.
Joy Shatz is possibly my favorite name that I saw go by in the credits because the minute I saw that, I thought, well, at least one person had the right reaction. Joy Shatz, when she saw exactly what was happening in this movie, she's like, ah, crap. So yeah, the credits go by and we get right into the thing, and the budget's immediately apparent. I
Good.
read that the first, I couldn't find any budget information on this one, but I read that the first one had a $25,000 budget. This doesn't look like it's a whole lot more. If I had to guess, I'd say maybe 80 grand. It's also it doesn't it's not really a hotel. Like I'm just gonna say like whatever that structure is, it's in Pennsylvania. I've never seen a hotel that looks like that. That looks more like an old church or like an Airbnb or something. It's a weird, or not an
So
Airbnb, but like a bed and breakfast. Weird place.
it's a real life haunted house. Did you know that? And
Yeah.
we could go there. We could go
Yeah.
to the Real Hell House LLC.
Hmm.
I think it's explained in the first one. This was part of the fun of watching this movie, was trying to remember the like lore
Hmm.
because it doesn't matter to this movie at all. But it's like I think the lore of the first one is that it's this real like messed up place that then they turn into a haunted house,
Yeah.
and that's the LLC.
Hmm.
But part of the fun of this movie is just that not really being important, and you can just make it of whatever you want of this movie. So,
Yeah, there's a lot to the plot, surprisingly. Like they like cross-cutting, they like flashing back to things. And strangely, whenever they talk about a person who's not currently on screen, they cut to that person in like a flashback for 2 seconds, almost like it's subliminal. Just be like, somebody will be like, well, I was talking to Jim, and then it'll show some guy, and you're like, oh, that must be Jim. And then they'll cut back to this, and it's like, Jim isn't important, by the way, but we
well,
needed you
yeah,
to see him.
Jim was from the first movie, and we
Right.
want to remind you that. Or sometimes they're not. Like this movie does one of my favorite things, which is it essentially starts
Hmm.
5 times.
Yeah, it does.
Where it'll be like, I don't even remember how it first starts. Does it start with the like news thing, or does it start with the
No, the news thing's like
lady on
secondary.
this? Okay, so it's the lady like on the scene, like being like, it's the Abaddon Hotel.
I think it starts even before her. I'm sitting here trying. I watched this last night, and it
Yeah,
started so
I
many
watched it
times
yesterday.
I don't actually know what comes first. All I
Let's
know
see.
is that the newscaster lady standing outside the hotel happens like second, and then her dumb news program with the really bad green screen starts
Oh
third.
my gosh, that's like the best part of the movie. Okay, so it's the Terror Films logo,
Hmm.
and then it's the following footage. Oh, it's that like the following footage uh, was compiled by these people. Oh, and then it's the whole thing with the lady who's like, my child, he disappeared.
Oh, that's what it is. Right,
That's
right,
in the movie first,
right.
and I don't think it has anything else to do with the rest of the movie.
That's why I couldn't remember it because I was watching that, and when she first came on, I'm like, well, she's acting well.
Oh, that's that's the funny part of this. I'm sorry to cut you off. Their last name is Mallet. And so
Yeah.
I think the kid's name's like Austin Mallet, which is
Mm.
an incredible name. And then that plot line gets Kakoa shot out of the movie.
Yep. Yeah, there's everyone's last names in this movie are kind of stupid. And none of it, it's all super on the nose. And then like because she kept talking about her son was missing. And so when you finally cut to her son, you're expecting it to be like a 12-year-old or something. And the dude looks like he's 35. And I'm
It's,
like, wait a minute. Are you older than your mother?
it caught
Because
me
she
off
can't be
guard.
more than like 42, maybe 45 at most.
It
She must
caught
be a
me so off.
young looking
Yeah.
50.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm cutting you off.
No,
But
no, no.
she looks like 40 something,
Yeah.
and then it cuts to like a grown man.
Yeah. Which immediately makes it less scary, by the way. Because I'm like,
Yeah, and
oh, well, you're just a dude. You can handle yourself.
yeah, well, that's this whole movie is we could get into my problems with like the haunted house genre later, but a lot of this movie is just like, oh no, this happened. Now we
Right.
can't get out. It's like
Hmm. The
that's the
door
whole
is
thing.
closed. Oh, darn. Really? The door has windows. Get bust the window. Look, this place looks old and rickety as crap. You could bust through the wall. Just like kick a hole through each
Yeah,
wall until you get into another room.
that's my problem with this whole thing is like it's the house known for you get locked into it and
Hmm.
then murdered. You're not bringing a sawzall.
Right.
You're not bringing a
Nobody
chainsaw,
propped
an
the door
axe.
open. Like they went in and the door, they're like, oh, the door's just open. That's weird. And the psychic's like, that's because it wanted us here, guys. Like he mugs for the
The
camera.
doors
That's because it
open.
wanted us here.
That's weird.
Hmm.
Happens 4 times in this
Yeah.
movie.
And they didn't prop it open. You'd think you go, well, you know what? Let's just take the door off the hinges. As a matter of fact, let's take the door off the hinges and then let's just go bust it up in the yard and then it can't close. How about that? How about there will always just be a hole in the side of this building where we can escape? In fact, since we came in the back and the cops didn't see us, let's just bust every window open as we go through. So there's nothing but holes. Let's turn this house into Swiss cheese and then investigate. How about that?
No, because they don't want, to get in trouble for breaking it up along with trespassing. They don't want
I
the
see.
vandalism charge.
Don't want the vandalism charge.
Come on, they say that. They don't say that in the movie.
I mean,
Oh,
they do make a big deal about like private property and blah, 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 and different lawsuits and a lot of weird legal stuff that really doesn't seem to have anything to do with anything either.
it's just wild because this movie starts with like my poor boy, who is
Hmm.
then a grown man
Yep.
at least like 25.
Right. And actually, they flash back to the video of him as a kid, and it's supposed to be like 1997. If you do the math, this was supposed to be 2016 when he went missing. There's no way he's that old if he was born in 1997 and 2016. In fact, in 2016, if he was born in 97, he would have been like 19 or 18. Because like I was 22 and I was born in 94. So
Okay.
he'd have been 3 years younger than me. So yeah, he would have been 19. That dude is not 19. There's no way that guy's
In the
19.
flash, so you're saying the
They do the
guy
flashback.
in the flashback when he's a little kid would be way older than a little kid
He should be.
if he's especially like a
Hmm.
grown man. Yeah.
Right. Like he should be 12 in that flashback, at least, to be as old as he is in 2016. Instead, he's like 5. It's like, so you're like early 20s? There's no way that's how old that guy is. None of that lines up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty weird start, and then it's like on the scene news thing about the house,
Hmm.
and then it's the news in the morning that's all about hauntings, which is a great like in-universe thing. You know,
Hmm.
I wish those existed, like morning talk, TV talk radio
About paranormal things.
about paranormal things is just oh, it's just wild. And that's like the movie starts again. And then and it's the Blue Album by Weezer for like 2 seconds, and I think that's hilarious because they're on that screen and it's the same blue, and
Hmm.
it's how anyone saw that and went, "This isn't just clearly Weezer. We should probably change the blue." Or maybe it was on purpose. Maybe it was an homage to the great band Weezer. I don't know, but yeah, then we get into the real heart of this movie, which is investigative journalism.
Apparently,
Yeah, then the movie cuts away to people watching the news thing
which is
and
super
going,
weird.
so weird, especially because there's cuts in that.
Hmm.
Like, it's supposed to be, we never turn the cameras off. And like,
Hmm.
this is just what we're talking. And then there's like, cuts to dialogue, which is, oh, it's super, it's just, it's
The
rough.
the main lady in the investigation who we meet, which that's the funny thing is it keeps this movie for the first 15 minutes. In fact, I remember pausing it and looking at the time because I think I said this movie has introduced a character every minute for 15 minutes because there's like 15 characters. And I paused it and it was like 13 minutes and 30 seconds into the movie. I was like, dang, that's more than a character a minute. We just keep it keeps starting over and it keeps introducing more characters. So the main lady, the blonde, discount Laurie Holden, she's there and she's fine. The lady
Joy
along with
Shatz.
her. Oh, is that who? Okay, yeah. So Joy's terrible. She's maybe the second worst actor in this thing, possibly the worst actor in the thing. And from frame one, the minute those two first show up, I remember laughing hysterically over her because she keeps looking at the camera, which I know this is found footage, so it's not that big a deal. But for some reason, she was looking at the camera in a way that looked like she was waiting for them to say cut, like she didn't know what her next line was going to be, and they just kept rolling. That's how everything in this movie feels. Is like, I don't know how much was improvised and how much was script, but a lot of moments feel like people are waiting for you to cut and they just didn't. And it just kept
There's
going.
one look to camera in this movie specifically that's hilarious. I think it takes
Mhm.
place later in the movie, and I couldn't tell you what else it was, but I just know there was one that made me laugh out loud because it's like a Jim Halpert moment. Like it's 100,
Mhm.
and but it's not on purpose. It's
Right.
this movie tries to be funny a lot, and I don't think it ever is when it's trying to be. But
No.
I laughed out loud several times watching this movie for the second time because it's just and I wrote some of those moments down, and we can. I mean, another
Mhm.
time when the movie restarts is is the line, "Hey guys, we just got back from our fashion show. It didn't go as good as we thought," which I died laughing at because it's just like because the movie builds it up as like, and here's when even more terrifying stuff started to happen.
Right.
And then it cuts to a
And just
gay
two
guy,
gay guys talking about a fashion show. Super
which
terrifying. Super terrifying.
and then there's like a hitchhiker
Hmm.
and
That
Oh,
hitchhiker, by the way, they like show a photo of the
so
girl it's supposed to
funny.
be. That hitchhiker is not even that girl. It's like a
Same.
dude with long hair. It's not even remotely the
Dude,
same person.
at that point in the movie and later at the way end, that final look to camera, it's a guy
Hmm.
like who's in that makeup.
Right.
That's not a like, and if it's a girl, sorry, ma'am. But I completely agree. And that's what I think something that made me chuckle is it's like, and this girl went missing in the accident. And it shows this like girl's senior picture, and then it
Hmm.
shows the like terrifying uh, zombie face of this girl, and it's like those are
The shoulders are
two,
this wide
yeah,
and like
like those are two different people. Like
clearly two different
clear,
people.
like I don't know. You had someone in charge who think that all white women look the same and went, yeah, that's that's it.
Hmm. Yeah, that was so basically the whole idea is they're going in there. If do you want to summarize like for the audience what
Does
the general
IMDb
idea
have
is?
this? We've been talking about this movie already, but
Yeah.
to catch
I
the
guess I'm
folks
trying
up
to
at
figure
home,
out like if there's any way to really make it make sense. Because it doesn't really
um,
make sense even when you're watching it
no, in
a
the
lot of times.
IMDb summary, it makes it equally confusing,
Hmm.
which it says 2 years after escaping from demonic terror, a young woman is still haunted by unnatural visions.
Yeah, except none of that happens.
That's yeah,
That's
that's
not actually a
not
thing that
this
ever happened.
movie. That's not
What
this
young woman?
movie.
Yeah, that's not this movie. What young woman and what visions?
And
No,
I'm
none
pretty
of
sure the
those go together.
trailer playing is for the first one.
Oh, good. Yeah,
I'm
that's what you want.
or that's not the second one. Wait, I'm 8 years following the traffic events at the Abaddon Hotel. Yeah, but the scene at the beginning is not in the movie. What? I'm sorry. I gotta crack this case wide open later. I kind of went down a rabbit hole right before we were recording to try to understand this movie a little better, and I was left with more questions than answers,
Yeah.
including the fact that Stephen Cognetti, our writer director, made a movie in 2011, a short film, my apologies, called Thomas Jefferson Lives, which is about them bringing back Thomas Jefferson from the dead. And all I could find was like a minute long trailer for it. And here's the really interesting point. Here's our point of connection. It also features terrible looking fake talk show footage. I kid you not. It's like
Hmm.
it's a motif in his work. Everything else about this trailer, like the look of it looks great. Like it looks well shot, except for those scenes. It's jarring.
Wow.
I'll have to send it to you later. But Stephen Cognetti he's a fan of terribly bad looking
How
things.
many
So here's
movies has he made? Has he made
he has
all of the franchise? Is he steering this ship,
he's made all of the franchise
including
and
the
he's
newest ones?
yes. And he's also made, one second. He's also made a movie that's not in the Hell House LLC universe, and that film is called 825 Forest Road. But
Interesting.
all of his other feature work is Hell House related.
Well, he found
As
something that worked and he stuck with it, I guess.
I guess so. Yeah, he's the director of all those, and I think the last two Hell House films have been no, that's wrong. His last two films have been Shutter movies,
Hmm.
and they both star the same woman. I'm pretty sure.
Hmm.
I'm looking at IMDb right now. I don't know if you can tell that's what I'm doing, viewers at home. But yeah, they both star the same woman. Who her name is Elizabeth Vermilia. She's also known for her work. Oh, I clicked on her picture by mistake. Um, yeah, we I don't know any of her other work. John 137 and An Extraordinary Affair.
Hmm.
Very riveting information. So this movie, okay, so we were trying to do a synopsis and I distracted us. This movie is about a group of independent journalists who investigate the events of the first Hell House movie
Hmm.
by because the lady discount what's her face uh got an anonymous package telling her that there might have been stuff missing from the initial police reports about what started this. Because at this Abaddon hotel, there
Hmm.
was once a man by the name of something Tully, Alexander Tully, Andy
Something like
Tully,
that.
and he was a cult leader. And then the events of Hell House 1 happen, which I think it's fun if you don't know what happens in Hell House 1 because it makes it all seem, you know, you can project what you want in there.
Right.
And this cult happened, and there's like something about the cult and everything that went down in the basement. And so they get the last remaining member of the crew from the first movie because they were also shooting a documentary for the first movie because it's found footage. And the last remaining member of the crew to help them go back to Hell House LLC to the Abaddon Hotel.
Hmm.
Were you terrified? Were you on the edge of your seat? Were you scared? Are you
Um,
scared still?
no, the very first little bit there with the woman and her missing son, and then the text said they don't have eyes. I thought, well, that's pretty creepy. And then that was the last time it was creepy. It was the first and only time it was creepy. And then it immediately was just dumb.
So the creepiest part of the movie was a screenshot for you?
Yeah, this a screenshot of a text. That was it. There's that, and there's the real dumb moment where that one guy, they're like, here's some more scary footage, and that one guy walks in and you just see some feet on the stairs, and then it's just that shot for like 5 minutes, and then we cut back to the bad news footage, and she's like, it just keeps doing that for the whole live feed until the battery ran out. I'm like, well, that's not okay.
No one went to help him.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, exactly. And then also, that's still not that scary. It's just not
You
it.
join that Facebook Live and you just go,
It's just some feet on some stairs.
huh,
Yeah.
that's, huh. Oh my goodness. I think he's the guy who's speaking in like 2010s kid lingo. He says
Oh
like
yeah.
yeet 6 times.
Yep.
He's, it's crazy. He says he's wearing boxers or something.
Something
He's the
like that.
pervy guy. He's the pervy guy.
Oh, okay.
I
That's
figured it
good.
out.
I see. Yeah.
Not the pervy guy that I was talking about earlier. You meant like
Mhm.
there's always a pervy guy. I meant of this film.
There's
I
always a perfect guy. I am going to be right back. So I'm gonna
okay.
there's gonna be a blink and then the audience is gonna be like, what happened? They're gonna be like, oh, nothing.
What
And we're
happened?
back.
So that was just a little time jump we did. We're here back talking about this film. Uh, what I think this movie does really well is just it
Hmm.
makes you wonder, what the heck am I watching all the time?
All the time.
Uh, I don't think it necessarily ever answers that question in a good way, or it necessarily asks it, you know, well, but you do go, what am I watching?
Hmm. Constantly.
Uh, I think I don't know. This movie is very it's very interesting.
Hmm.
Um, it's bad. It's real bad.
So much worse than I thought it was gonna be, honestly. It just kept getting dumber.
Yeah, it starts out pretty good. Like the whole scare, like I don't know if that's even true, man. It doesn't start out good. It hits a little bit of a stride in the middle, and then once it cuts back to the news footage, you're like,
Hmm.
what is this?
Yeah, they keep undermining moments with the news footage, which is just bizarre. I don't know why they do it.
I also think this doesn't do. Here's something very interesting about this movie that I don't think it ever does. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think found footage done well, which I think
Hmm.
is a thing. I'm a big fan of found footage. We will watch more found footage movies on this podcast because of my recommendation. Honestly, probably could have had you watch a better one, but it's less ween than this is. We wanted more spooky season.
Full
Um,
ween.
yeah, it's full ween time right now. So, but it never gives you the illusion of, oh, this could be real,
Right.
which is a fine line in like horror found footage movies because do you really need that line? Do you really need that? But there's no like, wait a second, how unless huh, there's no moments like that.
Hmm.
It's always clearly like cut, cut, cut. That's the thing is like there's more than one camera angle frequently.
Which is weird because I only saw them like the main group of people because the psychic or whatever comes with him and he has a cameraman. But
Brock
they get,
Davies.
yeah, Brock Davies, and they get dispatched with pretty quickly. So after that, where's the other camera?
The one guy pulls it out of his pocket and starts recording when they're at the
Oh,
bridge.
okay. So my favorite moment, I'm just gonna get this out in the open, is Brock Davies sits down to do like a, I can't think of what that's called,
Seance.
seance. And he's talking about all the people who have gone missing. But he doesn't say gone missing because they're people who have gone disappearing. And I don't know how much of this movie was scripted or improvised, but they just let that go. And it's one of the dumbest things that anybody says in the whole movie. They're
Yeah,
also just
it's
very ham-fisted with the way they're like, "What? You called me. No, I didn't call you. Yeah, you did. I heard you. You got on the phone. You're like, come here." I'm like, "No, I never did." And it's like, guys, we're horror fans. We understand. The minute she said you called me, we know he didn't, and we know it was the ghost. You don't have to like beat us over the head with this. They do that like 5 times in the movie. There's some reveal, and they just belabor the point.
I think my favorite line of dialogue is tied between um hey guys fashion show line,
Hmm.
whatever that is. Hey guys, we just got back from our fashion show. It didn't go great. And the first time like the door closes, they're running around the house and then they end up at like the front door or something. And the main guy who's been there before screams, "There's no knob." And they're like, open the door. I can't, there's no knob.
There's no
And I
knob.
just
Yeah.
think back to what we were saying about like bring an axe,
Yeah.
bring
Kick the
the stuff.
door.
Like, I don't
Anything.
know. Like this, the Abaddon Hotel is made of steel. I forgot. Like
Apparently.
he just goes, "There's no knob," and I wrote down, "There's no knob," because it's so great.
Yeah, that was one of several moments that was especially delicious,
Yeah,
I'd say.
this movie's a treat. This movie really is something. I just think the whole thing with the clown is kind of creepy when he's standing there and then he looks,
Yeah.
he's doing this whole robot thing.
Yeah, that part was creepy. The part that wasn't was when they go into the room and it's all a maze and there's all these other dummies. And then there's the one girl thing that's clearly not a dummy, that's clearly a person. And then they stare at it for a while and then she blinks and they all freak out. But she doesn't just blink. It's like a whole body blink. She's like that. So you can't miss it. Yeah. For the folks at home, I just like mushed up my whole face and did like a little cartoon bounce with my whole body. Like
It's
that's
pretty
what
much what
she
she does.
does.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
goes like, "Boom."
Yeah. Just so that you absolutely can't miss that she's not a dummy.
Yeah, I'd love for there to be like an audio commentary of this
Hmm.
movie. I just want to know everything about the creative decisions made behind it, what they were thinking. Like,
Hmm.
there's just so much because the first one's not bad, and I want to rewatch it. I might rewatch it for spooky season on my own. The first one's not bad. The second one is like, what the frick is wrong with this movie? And then the third one, I think, is the pervy guy, and then I haven't seen any of the other ones. So I actually don't even remember anything else from the third one.
Yeah, I'd be real interested to know what the rest of the franchise is because it's if it's anything like this, it's just that's really something.
I think what's crazy about this movie, especially if we haven't seen the first one, is the ending of the movie, which is, well, like maybe not even the ending because it keeps going, but it's
That
like
never
when
ends.
the portal to hell opens up.
Is that what happens in the basement? There's like a big
Yeah.
bang and then some red, and then they Kakoa shot the one guy, the cameraman. You never see him again. He never comes back.
Yeah,
And then
it's
they end
like
up upstairs for some reason, and then there's the lawyer guy or whatever. He's
yeah.
super weird. His whole face looks like one big full body burn. He's a very
Wow.
greasy man. He looks like they coated him in, especially during the green screen stuff. He looks like they slathered him in like Crisco, and
Yeah,
then
he's oily, that's for
he's real
sure.
oily. He's a
This Yeah, this movie takes its like silliest character and makes him the villain who just kind of goes, "I'm Andrew Tully." And
yeah.
it's like, uh, no way. And then it's like, Rachel,
Keep
Rachel,
keep recording. Don't you dare put down that camera.
the
Why
movie
why?
needs to.
Why do you are you so insistent that we record this? I
I
don't know.
really just like the idea that hell has no better option than
Yeah.
slowly recruiting people in like to
Into
get
this
lives than
tiny, ridiculous non-hotel that really can't hold that many souls. But apparently,
and and it's a convoluted plan to like keep drawing people in. It's
yeah.
like really complicated. He's got to send anonymous envelopes and you it's like you get one more person and then we're like in the police station, not
Which is
police
not a police station.
not a police station at all. It has like a rustic wood
Yeah,
backdrop.
there's barn boards behind her. Which is she dead?
I
Because
don't
off
know.
camera, what's his face tells him, the bald lawyer guy, the villain tells him, you got to choose, only one of you can leave.
I think
And
it's implied
so,
he chooses that she can leave because they fall in love, even though the whole movie is him trying to find the other girl he's in love with, right? There's like the whole like,
oh, I thought he
oh,
killed
you'll
her
be okay. You'll be
because you
you'll
hear
be
her
okay.
screaming. I don't know. And then she's like a demon face at the end.
Yeah.
And not for like a split second, but like this movie does, it like does stuff just like the blink. It does
Did you
stuff so
see
you can't miss it.
you see she's looking different now? Arr.
For like freeze frame, 20, 20 minutes, and then they cut back and then she's normal again. Yeah, there's so many things in this movie that don't add up at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to say if you see the first one, it answers more things. Like you kind of have a basic understanding of what they're going to like see. And it is kind of like weird and convoluted that the whole demon thing is let's just keep getting documentary film crews to show up.
Which,
I mean,
let's think about it. He goes, only one of you can leave because we need more people to know about the thing. Well, if you let two people leave, that's two times the amount of people they could tell. So really, if you let everyone leave, I don't know.
it's so silly. It's so, I don't know. But I'll be honest, of all the like dumb horror movies I've watched with my friends, Hell House LLC 2 is the one that's like stayed with me the most. Like,
Wow.
I don't think I can remember the names of some of the other ones. There's always like a kid and there's always like demonic stuff and there's always something going on, with the exception of The Ritual, which was too good for the show, I guess. And
Well, here's what it is. What it is the ritual will just come later because I'll have Netflix around the time when the last season of Stranger Things releases for whatever that's worth, and then I'll watch the ritual
we
then.
should do a new season of Stranger Things episode where we just
Yeah.
talk for like 2.5 hours
Yeah.
about.
Well, 2.5 hours, I think, would get you through the first two episodes probably, and just get you through what's wrong with those two episodes.
Yeah, yeah, how the mighty have fallen.
I love the third season. I'm not going to go off on a whole tangent on the show, but just for any viewers out there who have somehow lived under a rock and never seen the Stranger Things universe, watch the first season because it's good and because you need it to know what's happening. Skip the second season entirely. You won't miss anything. You'll figure it out once you get to the third. And once you've seen the end of the third season, just stop watching. Because the third season, in my mind, that's the season to beat.
Yeah, season two is weird. Season
Every
two is
season,
weird.
they just basically it's almost like they have new writers who don't bother watching the previous season and just write the characters with whatever personalities they want.
Yeah.
Because every season, the characters have completely different personalities and motivations, except Steve, who's like the only through line. But
Part
that's
of
for
True
another
Line.
show. Tonight, we've been talking about Hell House,
I just had to
LLC
I
2.
just had to like Google Stranger Things 1, 2, 3, 4 images to make sure I got them clear in my head. I guess I don't remember things like this well. But yeah, Hell House LLC to the Abaddon Hotel.
Yeah. So there's a moment toward the end where the tall bald guy, the villain, is talking, and you can barely see anything, and you realize you're just watching a black screen. You don't know where he is, you don't know where anyone is, you don't know which direction the camera's facing. And then he goes and he stabs the one annoying girl. We don't see it happen. And he
No.
stabbed her in the stomach, and that's a pretty slow way to die. And she dies in like five seconds. She's like, blam, immediately out. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now what are we gonna do? And then the movie ends, and then it doesn't, because now we go back and we start doing this news station thing, and then we keep jumping back and forth. And then we get to the police station, and then she does her demon face, and we're like, oh, she's evil now. And then it goes to the credits, and you go, thank God, all right, it's done. It's not done. There's still more things. The credits roll for like 10, maybe 15 seconds, and then it cuts to two guys in a diner talking
Oh,
about
that's the
making
part I've
the,
never seen. I don't think I've
yeah,
seen this part of the movie. That's what was in the
yeah.
trailer. Wait,
It
what is
just
this
keeps
part of the
going on.
movie?
It's just the dude who like bought the hotel to turn it into a hell house, a
Yeah.
haunted attraction. He's
Can you
like
hear what
talking
I'm
with,
hearing right now?
no.
Okay. Then I'm
He's
gonna
just
watch this
like
scene as you talk.
he's just like talking with his business partner or something about like this hotel. And then that stops and we watch some more credits and it's still not done. Then it just keeps cutting back to things and I'm like,
I honestly didn't even know all this.
yeah, I got fed up with it after a while and I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I don't know what else is in the credits, but I watched some and then I went, I'm none of this
Wait,
is
so
telling me anything new.
maybe it reveals something from like the first movie. I don't think it cuts back. This didn't cut back to anything else. Also, it's really loud in my ears right now. Oh man, they used music from Audio Jingle. The songs in this movie include, oh, what is this? Dave Kane's Vintage Rock 7, Black Sheep Media's The Edge.
hmm
Classics, man, classics. Yeah, the movie starts a bunch of times, the movie ends a bunch of times, and in between, it's a wild ride, ladies and gentlemen. And if you think we've been all over the place and scatterbrained and you really can't follow this episode,
That's the movie.
yep, that's the movie.
I really can't give you any more. And also, not for as many times as it cuts around, not a lot really happens. Like when you really like if you plot out what happens in order and you get rid of all the counter like the cross cutting, they go to the place, they get locked in, the psychic and his dude get hung from the ceiling 3 inches off the ground, which is kind of funny. And then they get chased around. The one of them ends up in the basement. They go and get her. A portal to hell opens up and apparently sucks the camera guy into it. And then the three of them end up in the attic. Then the one girl gets stabbed. And the bald guy is like, only one of you can leave. And then Discount Lori Holden leaves. And then she's at the police station. That's basically the whole movie. There's really
Yeah.
nothing. It's like, it's pretty basic. But good luck, watching that and following that and all that.
Yeah, it manages to be convoluted with a very simple plot.
Yeah.
So we watched another cinematic masterpiece this week. I think that's goes without saying.
I mean, I'll give it this. I wasn't bored and I had no clue what I was in for. So
Yeah,
it gave
I
me that
think
much.
what's funny about this is our first like truly bad movie. We have a movie we've let me cook.
I'm letting you
We have a
cook. I'm just
movie
thinking.
that's counted as like a cinematic masterpiece that we've called
hmm
boring on the show.
Yes.
Another movie that's like top of its genre that
hmm
I just didn't get into.
Right.
A cult classic that we creatively reimagined for most of
Right.
the episode. That's
That's the one I'm thinking of.
objectively all right. Dean Cundy,
Yeah.
like there's redeemable qualities to that movie.
Story-wise, there's not a lot going on in it. It's kind of
Yeah,
slow.
but it's redeemable and is like a cult classic. We've
Mm-hmm.
talked about Malignant,
Mm-hmm.
which is incredible. And yet there's this, which I am privileged that I really think I gave this show our first like bad movie.
Full on bad movie. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Like it's the IMDb rating I think is correct. Like if we when we get to the I think it might be that time when we get to the rating here. I'm gonna let
Yeah.
you rate it first, but I know what I'm gonna say.
Okay, so like this movie on IMDb is a 5.4 out
Hmm.
of 10.
Yeah,
I'm okay. As objective as possible, this movie is like a 2 out of 10.
100%. Yeah, it's
Like
not a good movie.
I don't know what. Okay, so like if I'm scoring it, and we don't break this down like actually like this. We come up with our numbers maybe before we talk about this, maybe not. There's
Right.
not like an actual point system, but I don't even necessarily know where I'm getting those 2 points from. So maybe it's a 1 out of 10
Mm.
because no, I'd give it 2 out of 10 because I would disagree and I'd say it somehow is actually spooky at times.
Hmm.
Every once in a while, it's like, oh, and it holds you in that tension, even though it's awful because it's a low budget found footage movie.
Hmm.
And on a day when we're not as pressed for time, we can kind of get into. We'll do this with the other found footage movie we're definitely going to talk about, which will how like found footage movies work in
Hmm.
our minds, and you can get away with more or
Oh,
get
for
away with
sure.
less
You
easier.
have an easier buy-in because it's not presented to you with a score and with all this other stuff. Found footage, if done right, is presenting itself to you as fact, and so you
Yeah.
can buy into it.
And this movie ruins that by doing stuff that we know very well really
Hmm.
wrong, which is that like
Yes.
newsroom look. It does
Hmm.
terrible, and so your buy-in goes away. It also jumps production value cut to cut,
Hmm.
which would make sense if it makes sense for some of the found footage stuff, but it doesn't make sense. The movie starts out looking great with the lady,
Hmm.
and then everything else is just shot different.
Yeah, hers really was the best part. Like from an acting perspective, from a technical perspective, lighting, sound, even story. Like that first 5 minutes is cool. And it has nothing to do with anything. We never really get back to that. So,
Yeah. So with a found footage movie, and I'm a big fan of the genre, it your buy-in is really easy and you can do a lot of fun things because your sandbox is essentially our world and
hmm.
you can and it's just kind of fun that way. It's kind of but then if you ruin things like we know what they're supposed to look like,
Right.
um it's bad. I mean, Malignant does something similar with the first VHS tape cut that looks nothing like a VHS tape. So it
Right.
just confuses your audience on what exactly they're watching. Um, so it's one of those things where found footage in one sense is easy because all you need is a camera, but then the second you mess up something that should look familiar, it can really ruin it. I think another thing that does this is footage in movies and all sorts of movies that's supposed to be emulating like cell phone footage
Oh, for
because
sure.
we all know what that looks like, and when it's
Hmm.
done wrong, when it's clearly like an Ari Alexa, like a cinema camera cropped, it looks different, and
Hmm.
it you don't buy it as what it's supposed to be. And I don't know if you literally made, hey, I know we're not doing a full remake of Hell House 2 LLC suggestion, but if you
Hmm.
literally made instead of like a morning talk show haunted thing, if you made it like a podcast,
Right.
your buy-in could be way different. And your production value could be way different. I mean, granted, you can't just film on a green screen for the half your movie, but you'd need like an actual set. But if it was a podcast, which I guess you could still do on a green screen, but like if you made it like a pod, yeah, you could get away with stuff. But you can tell a difference. We can our eyeballs know whether we know it or not that something is shot on a different camera, that it's not shot on a broadcast news camera. It looks like it's and that's why even like some, like college news stuff looks weird and bad. It's because it's shot on the wrong thing.
Right. Yeah, I think a big part of a really big part of found footage is staging and presentation, and then the quality of the camera. And the thing I hate most, and this movie does it constantly, is the fake digital glitches. Like, just just do it. Just do it for real. Or like if you're gonna do something on VHS, okay, you don't have to film it on VHS, but you can run it through a VCR. And when you want it to glitch, you can just hit the VCR and it'll glitch. Like, it's the simplest thing to do, and it
Yeah.
looks correct. And they don't do it. And for the viewers at home, those Tylenol are starting to kick in. So I'm feeling a lot better. Um, I can think a little more clearly now. And I think this movie deserves a 10 out of 10, Andy. No. Um, yeah, so what did you give it like a proper rating? You were talking about like production value and we kind of got down the
Yeah,
weeds.
I said like 2 out of 10. 1 out of 10. Two out
Okay,
of 10.
that's your final proper
Yeah.
rating. Okay. I see I'd give it like a 4 out of 10.
Where's it getting a 4?
It's getting a 4 because
What's the movie got to do to be, I guess to be fair, it is like its
it's not
production
boring.
value isn't awful and it's not boring.
Right. The
And
worst sin a movie can commit is to be boring. And the production value is what it is. That's terrible. And the acting is terrible. But it does have, it's not enough funny moments to be so bad it's good. But I've seen movies way worse than this, way more boring than this, way more tedious and stupid. In fact, there's a found footage movie, I think it's called Mr. Jones or something that we rented way back in the days of Family Video before those closed down. And it was clearly higher budget, clearly more production value. I hated every second of that movie. It was an hour and 45. I think it went on for too long, and I hated its guts. And that thing gets like a 2 or a 1 because it's awful. This thing, it's mercifully short. It's not boring. There's a few moments of laughter where you go, well, that's just stupid. And some of your enjoyment can come from going, why did they do this? Who is that? Why is that a man and not a woman? Why are we doing any of this? Why don't you leave? So I'd say for me, it would run somewhere between a 3 and a 4. If I wanted to be generous, I'd give it a 4 because it's not boring. But it's not good production value and it's not good acting. And it's really not like a very memorable experience. Found footage movies are kind of hard to remember anyway because they generally take more time with their plot. And this one, it's so convoluted, I can't really keep it straight in my head. So I don't think the only thing I think I'm going to remember is people have gone disappearing. I think I'm going to remember that line, and that's probably all I'll remember in about 3 weeks.
yeah,
So yeah, I'd give it like
sure.
if I was yeah 3.8 out of 10,
Okay.
just under a 4. Like it's I the thing is I don't want to set the bar too low on this because there are movies that are so much worse than this.
That's fair. And maybe I haven't done that well enough
Yeah.
with my 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I think 2, I've seen movies that are a 2 and this is not a 2. Like this is entertaining enough.
Yeah.
So,
Fair enough. Fair
but it
enough.
doesn't it doesn't have my heart.
Well, yeah, and you didn't like it. Like,
I
or did
didn't
you
I didn't
like it? Yeah.
I didn't like it. I didn't hate it. I was just amused by going, "Oh, this is what we're doing. Oh, look at
Yeah.
that thing. Oh, look, more crappy digital glitches." And Dad had a great point, which was that as a concept, it's actually a solid concept for a movie. It's a little convoluted, kind of doesn't make any sense why hell wants to pick this particular hotel and some of that's we gone over that, but it just doesn't do its concept justice, I think.
Yeah. I
And
don't
I don't
think
really
it.
know how you would fix that either. There's a lot of things
Yeah.
wrong.
And what is the concept you'd say that it does, like that it has that's good? Because
I,
that's,
I think the concept of an abandoned hotel that's turned into a haunted house where people go into and never come back out is inherently intriguing. And
yeah,
I
that's
think
fair.
the idea of, these people going back in there, however foolishly, to try to dig up whatever truth is also mildly interesting. Anything more than that, though, you'd need to do a lot more work to make it fly.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, because I mean, like, it doesn't do much to explain itself,
Mm-mm.
which not all movies have to, but this one does little bits here and there that just don't really make much sense, which is
Right.
just, oh, the door's open. That's weird.
Yeah,
Like
there's no knob.
more than one.
There's
More
no
than
knob.
more than once this movie goes, oh, huh. The
Yeah.
door's open. So,
Hmm. Well, that wasn't there before. Oh, I
yeah.
wonder if that's a problem. It's like, yeah. And then they'll creep like when the clown was near the door. You're gonna creep closer to it. No, just run past it. I would do like a flying kick, like a just run, jump, and do like one of bam, like one of those, and just boot the thing out the door along with me. And it's like, cool, we're both outside now.
Yeah.
So now if the
Do they
clown's gonna attack, I can run because it's outside with me.
yeah.
Like there's also that, which is how much of an influence does the demonic force have around the vicinity? Like if I kick the dummy out the door, does it cease to be sentient? Is there a certain distance it gets, like a radio signal, where eventually it just gets weak and then it doesn't work anymore? Like,
That hitchhiker lady was far away from
yeah, but she didn't get
him.
demonic until she was in the basement. She was just kind of in a trance up until that point.
Yeah,
So,
but she had been haunted and now she was running amok. Cause
okay, that's true. Well, so then in that case, still, I'll take my chances. Like, I'll take the flying leap, I'll boot the thing out the door along with me, and then we're both outside. And if it chases me, I've got all of outside to run away in. I can go and get in my car and I'm gone.
well, that's the
I
other
can
thing
run
is
it
like,
down with my car.
why do the cops never show up if they're always keeping an eye on this house?
Apparently, it's
Why
very
don't
well soundproofed, and they don't see lights from cameras and people inside running around.
why wouldn't you bring a gun?
Yeah, the what's his face? The main guy who's like, this is really dangerous. Okay, it's really dangerous. You brought nothing. You didn't bring a bat. You didn't bring a backup. You didn't bring any other, nothing.
Don't
I'd
bring
have gone
any
in there and
weapons.
like burned the place down or something.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Is like the city hasn't been like, yeah, we're gonna burn the house down. There's a lot of things that the movie just asks you or leaves you asking these questions that you just don't have any hope of having answered, except in the like 9 sequels that apparently actually exist in this franchise.
Yeah, which is wild. It's
Maybe
it's
we,
weird to me that the dumbest movies that are the cheapest somehow have the biggest franchises. They just keep making more.
well, they're cheap to make. You said part of it, right?
Yeah, but
And
but they're also not making a lot of money. So
I
how
think
do you
they're probably making a fair amount of money because my friends who like horror movies know these movies well.
Oh, see, I didn't. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm behind the times apparently. Andy had a horror movie over on me. I didn't know.
I had this one.
Hmm.
That's all. It's the best I had.
Well, luckily, once we're through with spooky season, then you'll have a slightly broader. You
Oh
still won't
yeah.
really have that many movies to pick from
I
because
I have
so many
I
movies.
have options that aren't like this one movie I remember watching in 2023 or this other movie I remember watching in 2023. So,
Hmm.
I don't know. That's the show, folks. This movie does not have my heart either.
Didn't
Um,
think so.
that's it. That is Hell House LLC to the Abaddon Hotel. And this
Excellent.
has been the only problem with Santino and Andy.
So
Santino?
we gotta figure out what you're watching next week for the last of the
Yeah.
Ween. But are you still down to do a double feature?
Yeah. Hey, like
Okay.
you give me two double
Hmm.
feature?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So here's how it's gonna go. We're going, Andy and I are gonna discuss because I don't know quite what he's seen and what he hasn't here. I want to give him the right double
Okay.
feature. But for the audience, it's a mystery double feature for next week.
Ooh, we'll just leave it a mystery. For the
Yeah.
full ween,
Yeah. Full Ween.
it'll be mystery. I like it.
So that's
Well,
that's the show.
stick around, subscribe, like, comment, share it with a friend that you like to talk to movies with. See you next time on The Only Problem.